Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Welcome to round 7 of the Thursday Night GT Championship, also known as the TNGTC. Tonight we are racing at Monza, and this will be a 2-hour endurance race, and we'll see who comes out best. Right now we're watching Oz, who's the first on track during the qualifying session. The session will last for 20 minutes, and this will be from, well, pretty much of importance to the race, of course, to see who will get pole and who will be victorious. Monza has been in the TNGTC for a couple seasons now, and, well, of course, this is called the Temple of Speed. Long straights, so the Ferraris and McLarens will do very well here. Most of the drivers have now switched to a Ferrari or a McLaren. We will see when we scroll through the drivers who is in which car, because they were allowed to change car after 3 races, and this is the 4th track we're racing. So here's Oz going for his first timed lap to see if he can do a fast time. During the practice sessions, he reached 1 minute 45.3, which is the fastest time so far during practice sessions. Benji and Scooby are very close, with a 1 minute 45.7. So the field will be pretty close. Oz just made a mistake, so this will not be his first and fastest lap. Let's see how others are doing. Here we see a couple of McLarens. Those are the McLarens of Benji and Adam. Those are the both drivers of Snakes Unite Racing. Here's Benji, Boy Racer, going for his fast lap. Here's the first chicane. Coming into Lesmo 1. And he is letting Adam pass for a fast lap, who just went wide. Now going through Ascari. Oof, just went wide there. Our penalty and flag system is off, so it will be a timed lap, but it won't be the fastest. So far, Scooby has set a 146.1. Closely followed by Adam, who just set a 146.4. Skanky Puppy, aka Matt, in the 31 Ferrari has set a 46.9. He's pretty fast too, and I think the Ferraris will do pretty well here at this track. So let's see if he can improve his time and gain a position, or maybe two, for pole position. Matt in the 31 Ferrari is part of Scapegoat Racing, together with Oz, who hasn't set a time yet. No, he still has to set a time. Whistles are very quick. And we'll see probably in a moment if he will be able to match his time of a 45.1, which he set during practice. Well, so far, Matt hasn't improved his time. He's still on a 46.9, sorry. So he will go for another lap, and there is Oz with a 45.7. That's pole position so far. But we still haven't seen Gaz, who is on track right now. He's still in his warm-up lap, so we'll see what he will do in about a lap and a half. Benji just improved his time of 45.9, coming out of the pits for a new attempt for pole position. And here we have Ben Milden, who has switched to the Ferrari, the number 2 Ferrari. He's always been a number 2 driver. Just kidding. Now, he's a very fast driver. He was in the Porsche, but that just didn't cut it for him. So he switched to the Ferrari, and he will be stuck to this Ferrari for the remainder of the season, because drivers are only allowed to change cars once during the season. Ben is currently in 6th, and he is improving his own time, not setting the fastest sector. And what will he do? Just passing sector 1, and he did a 36.5. It's a personal best for this sector, so let's see what he will do in this lap and see if he will be able to improve his time. You can see it's very close from let's see, second position of 45.9 up to 6th with a 46.4. That's only a half a second apart. And Scooby just set a new fastest time at 45.6, while Ben hasn't improved his second sector. Now going through Parabolica to see if he improved. Which he doesn't, only by 32 thousandths of a second. But in the meantime, several people have come into the top 7, so Ben has now gone to 7th place. Here are the boys of Snakes Unite Racing, And probably Benji is giving Adam a tow, so he can set a newer fastest time. And as you can see, Scooby is in a Ferrari, who is in first right now. Oz is in a Ferrari, who is second. Then we have Boy Racer, also known as Benji. And now Gaz has fourth place, also in a McLaren. So it's Ferrari 1, Ferrari 2, 3, 4, and 5 are for the McLarens. Then we have Skanky, also in a Ferrari, Ben Milden in a Ferrari, and here we have Liam. Liam is Gaz's teammate for Spam Fritter Racing, who have been the champions in the constructors title for 3 seasons in a row now. I'll have to fact check that. Yes, that's 3 constructor titles. And Liam just did his warm-up lap, going for his fast lap now. So he just went through the first chicanes. And this is full throttle through the Curva Grande. Into the second chicanes up to Lesmo. And from here it's full throttle again on his way to Ascari. And he hasn't improved his time in Sector 1, doing a 36.7. But he did put a personal best in second sector with a 37.8. So will he be able to move up to a higher position on the grid? Going through the final corner, Parabolica, and here he comes. He did improve his time by almost half a second, but it wasn't good enough for a higher place in the ranks. He's just 4 thousandths of a second slower than Ben Milden. Let's see who's out there. Here we have Jeremy, also known as Knight 4001. He's also in the Ferrari and currently in 9th position. But this is just his warm-up lap. And here we have Killer Ramsey, also in a Ferrari. And some people are joining the session, which is causing quite the lag. If you're on a hot lap, you're not happy, because it always happens somewhere in a corner, in a turn. And especially the turns here at Monza are very tricky. A lot of chicanes. It's a lot of high speed with low speed corners. And Killer Ramsey did a 36.8 in the first sector. Coming up to the second sector, 38.4, did not improve his time, but that was probably because of the lag. He still has 4.5 minutes, so that should be enough for 1 or 2 more hot laps. He has 3.9 liters, so he might be able to do another lap, but he doesn't. And let's see, here we have Six, who is now also on track in the 72 Ferrari. So there's not much diversity in cars. That's just simply because the Ferrari and the McLaren are the two fastest of all the GT3 cars available in Project Cars 2. Six is still on his way to his fast laps, so let's see who we have here. This is Oz. And this is not yet a timed lap. Switching to Liam in the 58 McLaren. And just going wide there. He did set a new personal best in Sector 1 with a 36.5. So will he be able to match Gaz's pace, his teammate in third? It's only 6/10, so it's not much. He should be able to improve a couple of tenths. If he improves by only 3/10, he'll be 6th. Second sector, 37.9, not his best sector. An improvement, but not enough. Still in 8th position. 2 minutes to go. If they get out now, there's still some room for a fast lap. And as you can see from his rear window, he had a crash somewhere in the session. Let's go back to Ben Milden, who is still on his warm-up lap. And switching to Benji through Ascari. And nope, that won't be his fast lap. Who else is on a flying lap? We have Killer Ramsey, who set a slow, very slow first sector in a 42.9, so that won't be a new fast lap. And here we have the odd one out. This is Jamie in the Audi R8. He's the only one in a car that's not... Whoa, what happened there? He's taking a shortcut and taking a flying lesson. That's too bad. Oh, that's damaged. So 20 seconds left. Is there anyone on the track doing a fast lap? Here we have Benji doing another attempt. A 36.3 in the first sector. Not his personal best. So as you can see, it's very close. There's only 1 second between the pole sitter and 7th position, so it's very, very close. And even behind that, it's not that far off. The whole field is within 2 seconds. And Six just wasn't able to set a fast time. Here we have Benji at second sector at 37.7. Both not his personal best, so that probably won't be a better lap than he already did. But maybe he did something miraculous in the third sector. Nope. Well, that's it. There's 1 minute remaining, and then we're off to the race with Oz in first with a 45.4, followed by Scooby and Gaz in third. So we have a Ferrari. Let's see, Ferrari, a second is Ferrari, third place, a McLaren, fourth McLaren, fifth McLaren, sixth Ferrari, seventh Ferrari, eighth McLaren, ninth Ferrari, 10th Ferrari, 11th Audi, and 12th Ferrari. And that's it for qualifying. Ramsey is on track, but not setting a fast time, that's for sure. And qualifying has ended, so on the front row we have Oz and Scooby, second row Gaz and Benji, third row Adam and Ben, Matt and Liam are in the fourth row, we have Ramsey and Jeremy in the fifth row, Jamie and Seeks in the final row. And that's it, and now we're waiting to switch to the racing mode, and here the drivers will have 2 minutes to set up their cars and turn their strategies to the right positions. This will be almost 70 laps, and it's a very high probability that there will be only one pit stop, depending on the tires they're running. So let's see how it turns out. So this is the live stream of round 7 at Monza of the Thursday Night GT Championship by RaceDepartment, and we are racing on Project Cars 2. This is also a live chat. If you go to our YouTube channel, if you have any questions, just leave them in the chat and I'll try to answer them as quickly as possible. The race will be a 2-hour endurance race, and as you can see at the top right of your screen, it's not that hot because we are racing on the day itself. So the in-game day is today's date. So it's only 12 degrees outside, track is only 18 degrees. And we're off. So here we are, front row. Let's go, and Oz has a great start. Scooby has just a less start. Let's go a bit to the back and see if everyone will come through turn 1 in one piece. Looking good so far. Looking good so far. And the line has been forming right now. Oz is still in the lead. And here we are through the first chicane. And there is a battle for fourth with Benji very close behind Gaz, followed by Adam. The orange McLarens are the Snakes Unite McLarens. They're always so close to each other. And he's trying to make a move on Gaz. Coming up to Ascari, will he be able to make a move outside? No. Gaz is blocking. And Benji is lighting it up for another attack on the back straight. And in the back we see someone spinning, which is probably Jeremy, who spun it coming out of Ascari. It's a very tricky corner. If you get on the gas too early, you're lost, and Seeks just lost it coming into Parabolica. Let's get back to the front, where Scooby is right behind Oz, going through turn 1. And here we are at position 7, and Ben is making a move on Adam. Yes, and he is past the McLaren driver in his new Ferrari. So it seems like the Ferrari is suiting him very well. He was struggling to keep up in the Porsche which he was driving before, and now he is in 5th, and he is now ready to chase Gaz, try to pass him for 4th position. And Ben Milden has been in the TNGTC as long as it existed, and well, I'll have to check it out. He has done a total of 1,494 points in all seasons of the TNGTC. He has had 12 wins in total, 63 podiums, 12 poles, and 2 fastest laps. And here we see another move, which is Gaz trying to overtake Benji, who apparently overtook him in the first 2 laps. As you can see, it's still very close. Let's get on board here with Gaz in his McLaren. And he is still close to Benji. Benji, who had problems with his brakes during practice sessions, who has seemed to solve it because he is now in 3rd. And there's still a pretty tight battle for 1st place. And Oz is trying to get away from Scooby, but he hasn't had done so until now. But there's still almost 2 hours to go, so who knows what will happen. You can see here that Scooby is just taking a bit of a different line through Parabolica. It's only half a second, and this could be a crucial point. And that's a nice exit by Scooby. Will he be able, here coming out of Lesmo, to make a move on the straight coming up to Ascari? He's just too far away to get a slipstream and get a good tow from Oz, but he is only 3/10 behind. He had a great exit coming out of Ascari and improved his lead over Scooby. And let's switch to the battle for fourth. Oh, Gas has gone really wide and Ben took advantage. They're side by side over start finish, and now it's just who will break later for turn 1. Great move by Ben, who just now snatched fourth position from Gaz. But will he be able to get away from Gaz and on to his pursuit of Benji for third? We got a little bit more back to the field. We can see Jeremy fighting with Liam. Oh, and he just gone wide and spun his Ferrari. Just didn't hit the wall. And you're coming into Lesmo. That was too bad. Liam must have spun as well because he was a bit more in front. His car looks whole. And going back to the battle in front, it was only 2/10. It's very close. Could he get closer to Oz? That's very close. He's doing a great job just staying so close to the leader. But Oz isn't giving up. And here we are on Gaz's roof, who is still chasing Ben. Of course, he wants his 4th place back. And he is a very fast driver. Gaz has been champion for the last 3 seasons of the TNGTC. He was so dominant in the BMW M3, which is of course not in the game anymore because The M6 is now the current car in the GT3 class. Too bad it's not fast enough in this game. There's such a big difference in performance in all the cars. So when we started this league, this season, there were quite a few cars. There were the McLarens, there were Ferraris, there was an M6, there was a Porsche, there was a Lamborghini, but all the other cars are just no match for the Ferraris and the McLarens. So most people now switch to one of those two cars. And here we can see it's a very close battle for third, with Ben having caught up to Benji and now actually trying to make a move. So let's visit him in his cockpit and see if we can witness the action from inside the car. And here's Ascari. So maybe Benji is still having trouble with his brakes. And now he has a nice toe, going for a move. Benji tries to block the outside, which was the right move apparently. But now here's the long straight at start finish. And what will he try? He's going for the same move again. And that's very close. And he got past Benji. And Benji missed the corner, so he lost not one, not two, not three, but 4 places. That's Gaz who missed first corner. But Benji also had quite the distance, and Ben has a lead now of over 2 seconds. But the big question is, will he be able to catch up with the 2 Ferraris in front? And Scooby has lost his toe of Oz. Let's go back to the battle for 5th. Here we can see Adam approaching in the orange McLaren. In front of him is Benji, and here we have Matt in the 31 Ferrari, the yellow Ferrari, going through the inside of Parabolica. Just getting past Adam, who isn't giving up. He's actually faster through the straight. And that's a nice block by Adam, who is even overtaking Benji in the same move. So Adam moved up 2 positions and is now leading the battle for 4th. Skanky Puppy not giving up, trying to pass Benji, but he's too far off. And here we can see Gaz, who has fallen back to 7th position, who has Killer Ramsey right on his tail. So probably with the missing of turn 1 he had some damage because he's not doing the times we are used of him. His last lap was a 153.1, while the rest is doing 47s, 48s. Let's go back to Matt. Still close behind Benji. And he's really on his tail right now. And he will definitely be making a move down this straight. Will it be enough? Will he be able to brake later? Yes. But will he be able to make the turn? Benji's not giving up yet. He's really close, so he will be able to get a tow by Matt. Maybe he will be able. No. And Matt just made a mistake coming through the first chicanes, giving Benji the opportunity to get back his 5th position. And that's a nice move going to the outside of the turn, not giving Matt the opportunity to take his position back. Trying to go through the inside, he was flashing his lights. Still flashing his lights, so he is not agreeing with the situation. But Benji is just continuing. Meanwhile, we can see Scooby is falling back. He was 3/10 behind Oz a couple of laps ago, and he fell back to 2 seconds. Now there's almost 3.5 seconds between Oz and Scooby, so Oz is loose. Doing laps of a 147.3, which is pretty quick because he is still quite full of fuel. 90 liters, as you can see, 90.4. So that's still a pretty heavy fuel load, and still doing a 46.3. That's very nice. Going back to Killer Ramsey, who is still behind Gaz. He has some front damage, as you can see, so maybe that's why he doesn't just have the speed to overtake Gaz, who is not easy to overtake. And in the background you can see Jamie right behind Matt. So what happened there? Did Matt make a pit stop? Did he just spin out somewhere? He probably has some damage because Jamie is catching in and he is in front. Going through the outside of Parabolica, yes. So now Matt has fallen back to 9th position, and he is going in. Yeah, going in for repairs. He still has 90 liters of fuel, and here we have another pit glitch. and that's weird. He went into the pit straight and came out again, and now his bumper is all loose. Such a shame. He was in a good battle with the McLarens, and there's probably been some pit lane glitch, and now he's in 11th position. And what happened in front? Oz must have spinned out, because Scooby is now leading and Oz is 3 seconds behind. What happened there? And Ben is pretty close. It's only 2 seconds behind him. So as you can see here, we're now 13 laps in, and even though this is a high-speed track with a lot of straights, you have to keep your concentration, because if you don't, you spin out. There's a lot of grass and gravel, and Killer Ramsey has entered the pits. And yes, his crew is ready. He's going for a fresh set of tires and probably also some repairs. And someone else is coming in. It's Skanky. And now his pit entry worked. But he had quite some damage in his last pit lane mishap. So here we have Lance on the live chat. He says, looks like most drivers are struggling with the tires already, possibly overheating or under pressure, so there's no grip. He could have a point there, because we see a lot of people spinning out already. It could be overheating. On the other hand, the track is very cold with only 18 degrees Celsius, so maybe they're struggling with cold tires, but it looks like a grip issue. So now Scooby is leading after 14 laps. He took over the lead last lap from Oz, who probably spun out and is now 4 seconds behind. And here's Oz, the number 50 Ferrari. So what will we be seeing some pit stops already? Because it will probably be a one-stop strategy for most drivers, but we still have an hour and a half to go, so we won't be expecting the first regular pit stops in about 30 minutes. Let's see. Here we have Gaz and Liam. Gaz, who has fallen back to 6th position, and like Lance says in the live chat, he may have had some damage, but probably not big enough for an extra pit stop. So he's probably doing some damage control and repair it in his regular pit stop. and we just lost Killer Ramsey, who had a disconnect. So only 11 drivers left now. And here we have Liam on the tail of his teammate. Both drivers of Spam Fritters Racing. Going through Curva Grande. And he has much more top speed than Gaz, so Gaz must have some aero issues. And he just passed Gaz for 6th position. But there's still quite the gap to Benji in 5th with over 10 seconds, almost 13 seconds. So far we have done 15 laps, 16, and the prediction is that we will do around 67 to 70 laps, depending on the tire wear and the drop of the lap times, of course. The Gaz is still able to stay pretty close to his teammate, but he is falling back. And here's Scooby, not followed by the number 2. Of course, he is followed by the number 2 Oz, who is 2 seconds behind him. In between them is Seeks, who has been lapped. Well, let's join Jamie for a bit. Let's see some onboard action at Monza. Going through Lesmo, that was Lesmo 1. Now coming into Lesmo 2. And through Ascari. Jamie, who is currently in 9th position, like I said before, one of the, or actually the only Audi in the field, and the only car that's not a Ferrari or a McLaren. His teammate's not racing tonight, Kike Luna. He was also in the Audi, but he has dropped out of the competition, sadly. So now we have Jamie, the only one left in an Audi. And will he stay in an Audi, or will he switch to another car, maybe a McLaren or Ferrari? Who knows? We still have a long time to go in this season, because we're only at round 7 of 41 in total. And back to the Spam Fritter boys, still within 1 second of each other. Within the background, Jeremy in the white and green Ferrari. And here you can see that Gaz must have some aero damage, because on the straights he's just, Liam is just pulling away. And here we're back with the leader. Scooby's still leading for about 4 laps now, and Oz is still 2.6 seconds away, so it seems like he's not getting any closer. Ever since he probably spun, sadly we missed that. And this is the view from the leader after 18 laps at Monza, with still 1 hour and 27 minutes to go. We can see he still has 67 liters of fuel, and he's probably using about 2 to 3 liters per lap. So, in a quick calculation, he would be able to do about 20 to 25 more laps, which will take him about, well, just over half an hour. So that would, if that's true, he would have, he has enough with 1 pit stop. Excuse me. And here we have Knight, or Jeremy, in the 55 Ferrari. And he is slowly closing in on Gaz, now only 2 seconds away. And this is the first endurance race of the season, and here we have just a slightly different point system than in regular races, and that's mainly that the winner will receive 35 points for this race. And usually in a feature race, which is 40 minutes, the winner receives 20 points, and in the sprint race the winner receives 10 points. So that's quite the difference when you win an endurance. So right now, if Scooby would win this race, I'll have to check the points. And right now Gaz is on top with 75 points, and Scooby is in 6th with 31, but winning this race would give him 35 points, so he would be up to 65, which would be enough for 3rd place probably. And now he's really close to Gaz, trying to go through the inside of his car, and he has done it. And what happened there? That was Liam in the middle of the corner, causing Knight to spin out and not just lose 1 position, but 3 positions. He went from 6th to 9th because he had to take evasive action. What a shame. He was right on his way to become for a 6th position and has now fallen back. Liam is right on his way, so he must have spun out. Here we can see the timing with the sectors. There's a quick look at the first sector. You can see it's all pretty close. Right. So let's get back to the race. Oz is still 2 seconds behind Scooby. And the field is now pretty divided. There's a lot of space between all drivers. And we're in lap 22, and we will be expecting the regular pit stops around lap 30-35. But seeing how everyone is struggling with the tires, what will they do? It's too bad we don't have the data of the tires. They are overheating or they are too cold. Could be both. It's a very demanding track with high speeds and heavy braking. And from 2nd to 3rd position, here we have Ben Millen, who is about 8 seconds behind Oz. But then again, he's 5 seconds in front of Adam, who is now in 4th. So there is a bit room for error. And back to the Spam Fritter Racing boys. Liam has caught up to Gaz again after his spin in Parabolica. And he probably will be very close to Gaz in about 2 or 3 laps. Gaz in the 59 for McLaren, and Liam in the 58. Here we can see Liam chasing his teammate through the first chicanes. This is the part where overtaking is almost impossible because there are short straights, but then here is a good chance if you're close enough you can get the toe of the guy in front of you and try to make a move before Ascari. Although here you can line it up. Stay close to the guy in front, get a good exit, and try to overtake him, preferably on the inside of Parabolica. He's getting closer, and he is making a move. Gaz isn't defending because he knows that Liam is just faster without the aero damage. So Liam back in 6th. And Jamie just gone off. Taken over by Jeremy. And back to the action with Gaz and Liam still battling. He is close behind, but he's probably not able to gain more speed and pass his teammate Liam because of the aero damage. And here you can see Liam pulling away. Here's Benji and the Snakes Unite McLaren, just lapping Seeks. Seeks, who is in 11th position. Also quite a gap between Benji in 5th and Liam in 6th. Over 20 seconds. You can see as Benji is entering Parabolica here. Liam is still coming up to Ascari. As you can see on the map on your right of the screen, drivers are a bit scattered all over the track and no real battles anywhere. That might change during or after the pit stops. And we just see Seeks. That's Seeks in the background. Yes, he just spun in. That's the second chicanes. And here we have a badly damaged car of Matt getting passed by his own teammate Oz, who is now in second. The damage, of course, was what happened in the pit lane, probably a pit lane glitch, and we have seen several this season. Sadly, Project Cars isn't running perfectly yet, and there are quite some glitches that we'll have to deal with. Meanwhile, in front, here's Scooby still in the lead, who has a quite comfortable 3-second lead over Oz. Excuse me. And we have gone into lap 28 with an hour and 11 minutes to go. So we're almost halfway through the race, and we're expecting some regular pit stops very soon. Probably starting in 2-3 laps. And see if someone will try an undercut. I'm now skipping through a couple of cars to see if the data of the tires is really up to date. You can see in the top right of your screen some different settings. You can see the tire pressures of Oz are quite higher than those of Scooby. But as you can see with most cars is that the tires are all pretty cold, especially the right side tires, because this is a very fast track going clockwise. You can see that the right side tires don't have very much friction. And here we have Jamie in the pits. We also have Seeks in the pits with Jamie in a heavily damaged car. As you can see from his cockpit, his windshield is shattered. So those were probably the first regular pit stops. And going back to Jamie, who is still in the pits, probably because of extensive repairs to his car, and he is now exiting the pits. As you can see, his tires, they're all green, so they're nice and warm, right in the right temperature. And Oz has entered the pits, so he is the first of the guys in front. Will this give him an advantage? And he has now again 75 liters of fuel, so that would be enough to finish the race. He is now in 5th. Oh, and he's still refueling 120 liters. That should be the max of this car. And he is off again. So he's now back in 6th. Back to Scooby, who is still leading after 30 laps. He's staying out for a lap more. Will it be enough to stay in front of Oz? Oz has fresh tires, so he will be able to push, but then again, he has a full tank of fuel, which will make him slower. Back to the race leader in the 48 Ferrari. Scooby, will he be staying out for one more lap? It looks like it, yes. He still has 30 liters to go, so will he go to the end? That means he would do about 10 more laps, which is about 15 minutes. And we have another comment by Lance Loomis that it might benefit Scooby to stay out as long as possible to minimize time refueling. Yes, he still has 30 liters, so he has quite a few laps to go. And will it be enough? If we look at the times, Scooby is now doing a 1:47.1, and Oz is Last lap was a 1:52, but that was probably his out lap. And Benji has entered the pits. Oz is done at 47.7, so Scooby is currently faster than Oz, so it probably would benefit to stay out as long as possible. Here we are with Oz in 6th position. He is a second and a half away from Liam, flashing his lights. So, did something happen there? Or is he just flashing? Liam is fighting for position. He's getting really close now. Will he be able to make a move at the end of the straight, coming into the first chicanes? And Gaz has entered the pits. Oz is still too far away to make a move. And also Jeremy has entered the pits. Here we have the 59 McLaren of Gaz. He'll be probably in the pits for a bit longer because of the aero damage. Currently falling back to 7th position. And Liam, who just got a bit of a better lead over Oz. And Adam has also entered the pits. And as you can see, he is now at 56 liters, 73, so he is refueling. This might take some time. Going back to the race leader, here's Scooby. And he still has 22 liters to go. And his lap times are still at 74.0. Those are quite decent times. Oz has probably made a mistake in the last lap because his last lap was a 48.1. Here we are with Oz still chasing Liam, currently 3rd and 4th. And oh, that's a big hit from Oz, who is probably way too heavy on fuel. That could cost Liam some front aero. Liam, who hasn't been into the pits yet, could. That's actually quite beneficial. Oz flashing his lights. Don't know why, because it looked like he went to the rear of Liam like a torpedo. Here we are with Liam and Oz still in front. Will he come into the pits now? He has 28 liters left. No, he's staying out. And number 2, Ben, has entered the pits and has left the pits very fast, and he is on 90 liters of fuel, 99 liters of fuel, so he would be able to finish the race, probably. And he came back out in 4th with Scooby and Oz just already pitted. Liam still has to pit, so that's a virtual 3rd position for Ben. And here we are back with the race leader with 18 liters to go, so we will probably go on for 4 to 5 more laps if his tires hold out. His tires are pretty cold, but he has a nice comfortable lead of over a minute. Going back to Liam and Oz. That moment there in turn 1 has caused both drivers quite some damage. Liam has some rear end damage, probably, and Oz with the front damage, which also will slow down his lap times, giving Scooby an even bigger chance to come out back in 1st when he has done his pit stops. And meanwhile, I see that Jeremy, also known as Knight 4001, has retired from the race because he is not on the grid anymore. Yes, he has retired in lap 34. So only 9 drivers left now with 55 minutes to go. And Scooby's still doing 47s, now 47.3 on lap 37, which is still only 3/10 slower than his fastest lap. 14 liters to go, so about 3 laps. Through Ascari. And Scooby just entered the pits, so we will go to Oz to see if he will be able to get close to Scooby when he comes out of the pits. And he's now at Lesmo. And as you can see, he's now entering Ascari, but it will probably not be enough. Scooby is still in the pits. Going back to Oz, still chasing Liam for second position. And Scooby's out. So from first to first, still leading the race after 38 laps. Very, very wise decision by Scooby to stay out. And he's now 95 liters, so he will be able to finish the race. Tires are right on temperature, so now is his time to get a couple of good laps out. Oz's tires have turned pretty cold already, and of course he has that front aero damage. Let's go through the field a bit here. Here we are with Adam in 5th position. You can see they're all scattered through the field. Not a lot of action except for Oz, who's still close to Liam. And that's about it. So, if this continues like this, Scooby's probably gonna win the race, but you never know. One mistake in a corner and it might be done. Meanwhile, if we go back to guys who just went wide, spun it off at turn 3. This is, oh, that's such a shame. Yes, that aero damage didn't do him very well. That was Curva Grande spun out, and repairing all that damage took a long time, so he is now 1.5 minutes behind Scooby, also 28 seconds behind the number 7 Matt in his 31 Ferrari, still quite damaged, so that's why he's probably not able to set any fast times. He did a 1 minute 49, so that's a really slow lap. Or was that his out lap? No, I don't think so. And here we still have Oz chasing Liam, getting pretty close here. And he's probably going to make a move here, coming into Parabolica. Not yet. But here's the start-finish straight. This is a long straight. Let's go to the cockpit view to see if he will be able to make a move in the first chicanes. Nice exit. still right on his tail. That was a bit too soon. So Liam's still in second position. And here we are with Benji in sixth position. The second chicanes. And going through Lesmo 1. Let's go back to the action. Same point. Will be able to make a move now? No, still. Liam is making his car as wide as possible. But he's very, very close behind now. Just too far off for a nice tow by the McLaren. Through Curva Grande up to the second chicanes. But Liam is just too fast for Oz to make a move. And now they're bumper to bumper through Ascari. And this looks like here is the place for Oz to try to take over Liam for second place. And just couldn't make it. Goes a bit wide there through Parabolica. When almost hit Liam again. And here we are on board with Oz in his chase for Liam's position in second. Now he's really close. Almost alongside for Lesmo 1. And he's on the inside. And Liam just got pushed wide. That was an aggressive move. Forcing another driver off track. Liam could take this to the stewards afterwards. Here we are with Seeks, currently in 9th position. Ooh, that was very close. Back to the race leader. After 43 laps, and behind him is Gaz, but this is not for position. Gaz has just been lapped by Scooby. And we go back to Liam, who is in the pits probably because of some damage of the incident with Oz. So now he fell back to 7th position. He won't be very happy with this. Probably a good thing we don't have onboard radios here. Let's see how Sir Ben Milton is doing in the number 2 Ferrari. He's 18 seconds behind the race leader and only 6 seconds behind Oz. He is doing faster lap times currently. And so far, the fastest lap of the race was a 1:45.4 by Oz.